You bring up a good point, and maybe this is a good way to talk about how you definitely don't discriminate. I mean, you're not this rocker that heard Van Halen as a kid and went, oh my God, and Steven Adler, what is this stuff? It's great, you know, and then you love Cheap Trick and Kiss and all these other bands. You've really worked with a number of interesting artists. I love the story about you and Ray Charles cutting a song together. Tell me what it is. Tell us all about what you admire so much about Ray Charles, why you identified with him, and why that meant a lot to you to cut something with him.
Well, I mean, Ray Charles is one of America's classic artists, and he really sort of paved the way for black music on radio, you know, and just such an iconic individual, and been around for so long, and also had some of the same demons that I had, and survived it.
Did you talk about your heroin?
Never talked about that.
Really?
Never wanted to even go
there.
But you say in the book, though, that the two of you shared sort of this unspoken bond that only junkies share.
Yeah, well, yeah. I never really stopped to think of it that way, but for some reason, you know, I got this phone call to come play on Ray's record. I don't think at the time Ray was really aware of who I was. I think it was the producer. And so I went down there and met Ray and heard the song and played on it. And he really liked it. He came in after I did and he really liked it. And so offered for me to do some other stuff. And then I ended up getting involved with his band, re-recording a bunch of his classics for Ray's movies. And so I was just hanging out with him, just seeing how amazingly talented, you know, to see somebody who's so brilliant at what they do, and somebody who's actually sort of invented a lot of the styles that he, you know, that he does, and made it sort of a popular kind of thing. It's really a trip to do that. So it's nice to sort of let it respect that.
Anything to you that you'll never forget, that he ever turned to you at a moment in space that it kind of stuck with you, legend of Ray Charles?
Yeah, but I should have something.
What about Michael Jackson? Because you play guitar on Black and White.
Actually, let me spell it for 1 minute. The recorded song Black and White, I did not play. If you listen to that, it doesn't sound right, everything like that. But Michael did ask me to play on another song on the record called Given, which is sort of showcase for the guitar. And then there was another thing, the reason I think I got sort of mixed in with Black and White was when they shot the video, it was some session stuff that I'd done when I first got to the studio, and put it in the video when the police all getting yelled at by his dad, and he was playing the guitar and making those noise. That's what I associate.
What was it like to work with Michael Jackson? And, you know, looking at his death last year as well, how you saw that, how it might have affected you before you saw the documentary that just recently came out. And here is we were flying somewhere, and she was watching it, and she said, I never had such an idea that Michael Jackson was the level of perfection that he was.
It was really sad, because I think we had this image of him, and it was stereotyped in many ways, but when you watch that documentary, I mean, I couldn't stop wanting to hear what he was saying. Every little bitty thing, look, that's how they stop, I want to do it again, and he would tap his foot, and he would feel it, and close his eyes, and go, yes, that's it. I mean, it was very intense.
Yeah, Michael was amazing. I mean, the Michael Jackson experience, you know, a lot of people, again, like me stepping out of my box, right? So with Michael and alienating my rock band and stuff. But he had a call from Michael Jackson, who's somebody I grew up with, you know, like Michael Jackson flash all and stuff, and he was very flattering, you know. So yeah, I took the call, and I went down there, and I met him, and he was very unassuming, very sweet, you know, kind of guy, and sort of let me just have free reign to do whatever it was that I wanted. So he sort of invested in something that he knew about me without me even really knowing it, and just said, just be you. And so that was great. But when I went on to do a bunch of shows with him, I got to see the level of perfection like you're talking about, and his passion for it, and also what it got me with the talent he had. And it was a really great experience for me, because he had all the attributes that as a professional musician you want to have. was very inspiring.
Now, when you say alienated all of your rock fans, did that ever enter into the calculus, or did you just say, wow, Michael Jackson wants me to come down and be in the studio? It's a musical spirit. That's something that I can't pass up.
Yeah, exactly. I never really think about what everybody else is going to say till this day. You know, I'm sort of on this journey, and I do a lot of stuff that it's not necessarily expected of me that I have to point out doing it. I think that there's artists that completely transcend all labels and genres, and you know, Michael's one of them. And it's one of those experiences, and his friendship, just that whole always be within was technical worthwhile in the world of Sabbath.
And how does Sabbath affect you?
It's just, you know, getting to know Michael, he's very similar kind of personality to me in the sense that everything is about music and everything is about the work, and there's absolutely nothing else going on, which is a lot of how being a musician is. You spend all your time touring, it's always all about music, it's about the show, and it's about the record. It's not about really anything else. I think it's for politics for some people. I mean,
I agree, yeah.
and so it gives you a good idea when somebody is that stature, somebody is, you know, that famous and that successful, starts to really exist in this bubble and doesn't have the same sort of satisfying life outside of that, and people taking advantage of it and all that. And so I watched it. So when all that stuff happened in 2000 or 2001, whenever it was, and you know, these sort of accusations and stuff, the one thing that Michael really wanted, and which one thing that made him happy, was he wanted everybody to play. And he was putting on the best show possible so that everybody would be function. A little bit more depth to it than that could be, right? And so all of it was completely out of time. Pretty much like North America, you know, for all these accusations, which even though he was acquitted, that was sort of how, yeah, and it's sort of, you know,